Welcome to Trending Update USA. This is Stefan, and I am bringing you the biggest confirmed tennis story shaking the sport as the countdown to the new season officially begins. The tennis world has now received absolute confirmation that Iga Świątek will represent Poland at the United Cup 2026, and the reaction across players, analysts, fans, and former champions has been nothing short of electric. As soon as the confirmation dropped, social media erupted, tennis forums lit up, and expectations for the opening event of the 2026 season instantly skyrocketed, because whenever Iga Świątek commits to a team event, the competitive balance shifts immediately. This confirmation is far more than a routine entry on a player list. For many observers, Iga Świątek's decision to play the United Cup sends a powerful message about her mindset, her goals for the upcoming season, and her desire to start 2026 with intensity rather than easing into competition. Over the last few years, Świątek has built a reputation as one of the most disciplined, mentally strong, and strategically focused players in the sport, and when she chooses to open a season with a high-pressure mixed-team event, the tennis world pays attention. The United Cup has quickly become one of the most intriguing tournaments on the calendar, combining national pride with elite-level competition in a format that forces players to adapt quickly. For Świątek, representing Poland in this setting has always carried deep meaning. Those close to her camp have often emphasized how seriously she takes national representation, and her previous appearances have shown just how much energy she draws from playing not just for herself, but for her country. Almost immediately after the confirmation, former players began weighing in. Several ex-world number ones praised Świątek's commitment, noting that top stars sometimes avoid early-season team events to manage workload. The fact that Świątek is doing the opposite has been widely interpreted as a sign of confidence. Analysts have pointed out that players who feel uncertain about their form tend to protect themselves early in the year, while players who feel prepared embrace competition. In that sense, the United Cup confirmation has been read as a quiet but powerful statement. Fans in Poland reacted with overwhelming pride. Polish tennis supporters flooded platforms with messages celebrating the news, calling Świątek the heartbeat of the national team and expressing belief that Poland can once again be a major contender. The Polish Tennis Association also amplified the announcement, highlighting Świątek's leadership and influence on younger players who will share the locker room with her during the event. International fans were equally vocal. Supporters from Australia, the United States, and across Europe welcomed the news, knowing that Świątek's presence instantly elevates the quality of the tournament. Ticket demand, according to early projections, is expected to spike, particularly for sessions featuring Poland. Broadcasters are also expected to spotlight her matches heavily, as Świątek remains one of the most watchable players in the sport due to her intensity, movement, and tactical clarity. The tennis world's reaction has also included curiosity about potential matchups. With multiple top nations expected to field elite squads, fans are already imagining blockbuster clashes between Świątek and other leading stars early in the season. There is a sense that the United Cup could feel less like a warm-up and more like a mini-major, especially with so many top players committing. From a technical standpoint, analysts are fascinated by how Świątek uses early-season events to sharpen her game. Her team has often emphasized rhythm and repetition, and the United Cup offers exactly that, meaningful matches against top opposition under pressure. Unlike exhibition-style warm-ups, every point in this competition matters, and that environment aligns perfectly with Świątek's competitive personality. Another layer to the reaction involves leadership. Świątek is no longer just a young star, she is now a reference point for the entire tour. Younger players look to her professionalism, while peers respect her consistency. By committing to the United Cup, she steps fully into the role of team leader, expected to inspire, guide, and deliver. That responsibility is something she has embraced repeatedly in recent seasons, and many believe it brings out her best tennis. Social media reaction has been relentless. Tennis Twitter, Instagram, and fan forums were flooded with highlight clips, statistics, and bold predictions within minutes of the confirmation. Some fans boldly claimed that Świątek's presence alone makes Poland a favorite, while others caution that the depth of competition means nothing is guaranteed. Still, even the most cautious voices agreed on one thing: the tournament just became far more compelling. The timing of the confirmation is also significant. With the off-season traditionally filled with speculation and uncertainty, clear commitments from top stars helped shape the narrative of the upcoming year. Swiatek's confirmation has provided a focal point for discussion, shifting attention toward team dynamics, early rivalries, and the psychological tone of the 2026 season. Within the locker room, reactions are said to be respectful but alert. Rival teams are fully aware of what Swiatek brings to the court. Her ability to dominate from the baseline, her improved serve, and her relentless return game make her a nightmare matchup, especially early in the season when many players are still adjusting. Captains and coaches are already thinking about strategic pairings and scheduling to account for her presence. There is also a broader conversation about what this means for women's tennis visibility. Swiatek has become one of the sport's most recognizable figures, and her participation ensures that women's matches at the United Cup will receive prime attention. Commentators have praised her for consistently supporting formats that showcase both men's and women's tennis equally, reinforcing the value of mixed-team events. For Swiatek herself, the United Cup offers something unique: the chance to compete fiercely without the isolation that sometimes comes with individual tournaments. Teammates, shared goals, and collective pressure create a different emotional dynamic, one that she has spoken positively about in the past. Many believe this environment helps her channel intensity in a balanced way, fueling her competitive fire without overwhelming it. As the tennis world continues to react, one theme keeps resurfacing: intent. This confirmation feels intentional, deliberate, and symbolic. It suggests that Swiatek is not easing into 2026 cautiously, but rather stepping directly into meaningful competition with clear ambition. That mindset has defined her rise, and fans see no reason to expect anything different now. The United Cup 2026 is still months away, but the narrative has already begun. Every practice update, every training clip, and every hint of preparation will now be analyzed through the lens of this commitment. For Poland, it represents hope and expectation. For rivals, it represents a challenge. For fans, it represents anticipation. And perhaps most importantly, for the sport itself, it represents momentum. In an era where scheduling choices are closely scrutinized, Swiatek's decision reinforces the importance of competitive, high-stakes events that bring players together and capture the imagination of the audience. As reactions continue to pour in, one thing is undeniable: Iga Swiatek's confirmation for the United Cup 2026 has already achieved something rare. Before a single ball has been struck, it has unified the tennis world in conversation, debate, and excitement. The stage is set, the expectations are sky high, and all eyes will be on Poland's leader when the new season begins. This is Stefan, and you're watching Trending Update USA, where the biggest stories in tennis never wait for the first serve.